I'll walk you through my answer. Right now I'm looking at the tmdb convenience.swift file. For getting the session ID, we need to start by specifying a dictionary with the request token that was passed into the function. Make sure you add an exclamation point to request token. Then we can make the request using the authentication session new method. From this point, the rest of the code's like before. The value that we're interested in is of course the session ID, and the key that we're looking for is defined here in the JSON response key struct. If we successfully find it, then we return it back in the completion handler here. Getting the user ID is pretty much the same. I've implemented it already, and I'll point out the main differences. For parameters, we only need the session ID. Then our method is different. We use the account method. Handling errors is pretty much the same, except the main thing that's changed is our completion handler signature. This time it has a user ID, and this is of int type, but it doesn't really matter because we're passing nil here and here. I've also changed the error string. The last difference is we're looking for the response key that is the user ID. We're returning it as an int, and then if we find it, we send it back in the user ID. Let's go ahead and try running all of this and see if we can make it to the main screen. I'll click to authenticate, and then I'll click allow, and everything runs behind the scenes, and nice. Here's our main tab view controller. I know this might not seem like a huge breakthrough, but the big payoff is back in the code. If we look back at the login view controller, then look how nice this is. This is the only place that we touch the TMDB client, and we only make one call, authenticate with view controller, and everything works behind the scenes. The login view controller doesn't have to know anything about the movie database. We just make this single call and everything works. It's nice and it's seamless.